How you doing?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Oh, we're doing beautiful. It's beautiful Alaskan Natives group interviews. Episode number 3 for the family. Speaking with TaterTott.
What up?
Well, thank you first and foremost for taking a few minutes out of your busy schedule. Come sit down with us here in live group chat interviews. Uh, Before we start, for those eager to dive into TaterTott, where can you be found online?
On Facebook and YouTube and SoundCloud under TaterTott Music. And then on Instagram at TaterTott.music. And on Twitter at TaterTott Music. And then all other streaming platforms, just TaterTott. And that's two T's at the end of TaterTott. And it's one word.
Very
And
nice.
then I got a personal profile on Facebook, Edward Tate, and a profile on LinkedIn, also Edward Tate.
Very nice. So you're an artist from Alaska, correct?
Yep, born and raised.
Where in Alaska did you originate?
I was born right here in Anchorage, raised mostly in Nome. I did live some of my elementary school years here in Anchorage, and then I spent a lot of summers in Teller, right outside of Nome. Okay. And then when I first started recording my music, we were living in Palmer.
Okay. How long have you been using your creative energies?
When Mbop first came out by the Hanson Brothers is when I decided I wanted to be a songwriter. But I didn't know what genre I was going to write. I hadn't written anything until the first time I started rapping was November 27, 2004. And then I started writing almost a year later. And since then, I've been writing and freestyling, except lately I haven't been freestyling too much. I've been busy with family,
That's what's up. Family first, for the family.
Ever since, pretty much since my wife and I started dating, I've been doing music.
How long has that been?
15 years.
Oh, congratulations.
We've been married for 10.
Oh, how many kids?
4, all boys. So I tell everybody my wife has 5 boys.
Oh my gosh.
And then we got the female cat.
What's her name?
Juju, but we all call her baby girl.
Oh yeah.
Unless she's in trouble, then it's just cat.
Okay. Well, now that we know a little bit about who and what you're about, let's dive a little deeper into the who of you. How does it feel to be an artist coming from Alaska?
Feels pretty good, I guess. I know there's the music scene is growing up here, but I don't know. I've never really lately thought about it being so different up here. I just thought about being different, period. Like Del the Funky Homo Sapien is one of my favorites for that reason. He's like, yo, I just want to be different. Tech, I just want to be different, and so I'm like, regardless of where I go, regardless of where I'm from, I want to stand out musically. And then, I know being Alaskan Native has a part to do with that, and I know that kind of, it gives me a different perspective, I guess, but also hanging out with a bunch of different folks gave me a different perspective than most natives, especially native rappers.
Yeah. I can definitely say you've been out there with the best of them. Okay. What are your main duties / goals as an artist?
On most of my profiles, I have it listed in a specific order for a reason. Blessed husband, father, and hip-hop artist.
Very nice.
And so first and foremost, I am a husband. Then I am a father. And I do my best to spend time with my kids. It's not easy with, being a stay-at-home dad is way more busy than I thought it'd be. But I enjoy it.
Yes,
Having to pick my wife up from work most days, that takes time away from my kids, unless I bring them with me. But most of the time, they don't want to go. I don't blame them, And it gives my
Independent.
wife time to vent a little bit from her day without the kids being
Yeah.
around.
Right on top of her.
And then there's cooking. I do most of the cooking gladly because I like to
Me
cook.
too. Me too.
I like to cook. And then my goals as an artist are to touch lives.
That's a good one.
It's not even, I don't even make music to make money. I never have. I don't ever plan on it. Making money, yeah, I know I have to in order to continue with the artistry and also to get to the point where I can use music to support my family.
Yes.
Financially anyway. My wife listens to my music at work. There's a few songs she listens to get her day started. And it's not just my music, and I ain't mad at that. You know, our little family. We are technicians. Tech
Right.
9. Whoop, whoop. Strange music, baby. You know.
What about when she's bumping other Alaskan artists? How do you feel about that? Other than you?
And actually, I bump other Alaskan artists myself. You know, I listen to AK Rebel.
So
I listen to
you do it
Bishop.
together.
Yeah, and then, you know, of course, I learned how to record from D the Lyricist, so we bump his music. My kids will sing along with some of his music, which makes, you know, they call him Uncle D. So, you know, it's like, when I tell him, yo, my kids were singing along with this song, he's like, oh, that feels good. Or no, I don't say my kids, I tell him your nephews.
Yes.
But you know, there's also Kevin the Brain is one that we listen to. My kids like his voice. They haven't really started breaking down his lyrics yet.
Right.
And then we do bump Alaska Red.
What up, Fairbanks?
Yep. Fairbanks. Whoop, whoop. I've been told to go up to Fairbanks and do a couple of shows.
You should.
I'm wanting to get to that point someday. I know I'm not there yet.
Hey.
But yeah.
First thing is putting it out there.
Yep.
Okay. What would you tell another person who might be interested in hopping into the music side of things?
Don't just focus on the music. There is more to making music than just simply making music. This is something that I've been learning since I joined Facebook 2.5, almost 3 years ago. You got to learn the business part too. Publishing, performance rights, licensing, you know, beat leases and beat exclusives and track outs, and, you know, look into all of that. Also, networking. You gotta network. You gotta network like crazy. Like, my wife is telling me, she just told me last week, I think, babe, you need to get out there more. You've been, you know,
She's been checking your writings, huh?
Yo, she's like, you need to get out there more, babe. I want you to start really working on your music. And I know that's gonna take nights away from the family, but it's got to be done. You've been spending a lot of time with us lately, and it's a good thing. Now you got to get to work. Yeah. And I'm like, all right. She's like, you got to start getting used to doing this alone without me there all the time. Because most of my performances, my wife was there.
Right.
And, you know, when I'm out and about without my wife, I'm very, you know, hi, how's it going? All right, cool. Most guys cut loose when their wives aren't around. I cut loose when my wife is there. I'm very, how do I say it?
Attached?
I'm quite shy when my wife isn't there, you know? And
right.
And D, you can ask D. He can attest to that. He's the one that pointed that out to my wife before he pointed it out to me.
Right.
I think that was a good thing.
She's your safety blanket.
Yeah, pretty much. And but I'm getting used to it. You know, I've done a few. Let's see, the music conference. I was chatting with people. My wife wasn't there for most of that. The first couple of rhyme fests, we wanted the whole family to be there, but we were having car trouble. But you know, I'm getting used to doing this music thing with my family, staying at home most of the time.
And your manager?
Yeah,
Wifey?
pretty much. She's... And if you're married, listen to your spouse. And I say spouse because I know there's a lot of married women who are doing music, take what they say into consideration. My wife has told me when I should calm down from this aspect of music, or when I should, bump up this part, or, go to this show, or, babe, I got this gut feeling maybe you shouldn't work with this person just yet, kind of build up a friendship with them first and then work together, stuff like that.
Strategist.
Yes. So, learn the business side of music. Learn how to balance music and family, because that's really tough. Balancing music and family is tough, especially if you have a job.
Amen.
I'm blessed enough to where my wife works a job that she loves and gets paid decently for, and I get to be a stay-at-home dad while still working on music. Not many people can have that. And that goes for both genders. I know a lot of women who want to make music can't be a stay-at-home mom and make music.
Yeah.
It's not easy in this economy. It's not easy in these times,
It's tough out there. Who's your favorite artist of all time?
Dang. I got a short list I can do.
Who's at the top of the list?
That's a tough pick too, because my influences run from Eminem and Lupe Fiasco and Common and Tech Nine to KRS-One, James Brown, Talib Kweli, formerly Mos Def, now is Yasin Bey, Bumya, they're from Bethel.
That's what's up.
Alaska Red, E40, there's... And then growing up, I listened to the Hanson Brothers a lot. Dang. And I'm gonna be weird and say the Jonas Brothers, and I wasn't a Jonas Brothers fan until DNCE came out, and I found out he was one of the Jonas Brothers. I'm like, really? Dang, all right. Maroon 5, Outkast, Kendrick Lamar. And, these are people who can actually put on a show, too. Not just, music and not just lyrics. These are people who do all aspects of it, and I guess for all aspects of music, I guess I'd have to drop it down to two would be Lupe Fiasco and E40. Because they're, for the most part, independent. They put on a show. They got the lyrics. They got the networking. They teach other people, and not just with their music. They also they have proteges, and so I guess all around would be my top two would have to be E40 and Lupe Fiasco.
They should do a track together.
Yeah, I've been hoping they would for a long time. I know E40's done songs with Too Short, and Too Short and Lupe did a song together.
I don't know if your same answer applies to this, but if you could work with anyone or anything in the world, who or what would it be?
Honestly, no, it wouldn't be the same answer. It'd be the track team. They did the music and the sound for Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, that's what's up.
And The Legend of Korra.
So they're is that screenwriter, right?
Yeah. They let's see, Ben and Jeremy, one does the sound and one does the music. And then I know they have their two different engineers that they work with.
Okay.
What's up? And then sometimes they don't always have an engineer, but those two would be the ones I'd really want to work with more than. No offense to E40 and Lupe and M and and Royce, but
People got Royce a 5'9" on him.
Yep.
Okay. What currently are you working on?
Currently, I am working on 2 songs. One is my first ever love song. I've been asking my wife since we got married in 2009 if I can write a love song. She finally gave me permission after our 10th anniversary last year.
That's good. You asked permission first.
Yeah, and I had like half of the song on reserve in my mind. I'm just like, when can I write these lines? Because I didn't want to do it and then her hate the song because I did it without her okay,
Right.
And then one verse I actually wrote like 3 years ago. So, and then I'm also working on there's this beat maker from Maryland named The Wild Beat, and he every so often has a contest going on, but he hasn't really been active since school started this year. And but I'm working on a song to one of his beats titled Haywire. I got my boys doing part of the hook for that song. So the whole thing's recorded. I have to start mixing it.
Up tempo, down tempo, what?
The beat is EDM.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
My flow is, parts of it are slower than what I'm normally used to. And then there's other parts where it's, the typical speed that I can really get into the groove.
Yeah, you chop it.
Yo.
Okay. Any events we can look forward to?
Well, I know I'll be at Rhymefest every year as long as I'm alive and it's going on.
That's what's up.
That has been my plan since the first Rhymefest. Even I don't care how big my name gets. I don't care what kind of tour I'm on. I will come back to go to Palmer for Rhymefest. That has been my plan.
And who's all welcomed at Rhymefest?
Everybody.
Oh, yeah?
But I know as far as performing, you gotta be an Alaskan artist.
Okay.
And everybody that's performed so far has been Alaskan artists. Some are, dual citizenship, I guess you could say. Because we got, I know there was, one guy who, I think he's originally from Texas.
Oh, yeah.
But, people come down from Fairbanks to be at Rhymefest. And, Red has been, if I'm not mistaken, he's been at all 3 so far. Yeah, he was at the first one, too. That's right. But other than that, I have plans of going to open mic nights at Coots, except for this week.
When do they hold those?
I was told it's on Mondays, but according to the Facebook event, it seems a little more sporadic than that. But I know I won't be there tomorrow night. We got family stuff going on tomorrow night. But if it's really every Monday, I plan on attending next week and then start performing the following week. Kind of get a feel for the crowd, start meeting people first and then...
Yeah, that's good.
And then...
work on your performance.
Yeah, I do need to work on my performance again. But other than that, I know there's open mic nights at the Aviator on Thursdays. I should probably start going to those too.
Yeah, my partner was just telling me about one of them. Okay. Where do you see the future taking you in your art?
From dreams that my wife and I have had, we both can see my music getting our family to be able to travel. We'll go to places to do shows and then kind of see the city before and after the show, you know.
See the world together.
Yeah. And not just do like a lot of other rappers do and just do show after show after show after show after show after show after, you know, it's like go there, get to know the people, do a show, get to know
that's
some
how I
more
like.
people,
Yeah.
go elsewhere, you know.
Yeah.
Like how Kato on the Track is doing for his tour.
Have at least a good 2 weeks to a month there before, you know.
Yep.
Okay.
And then my music itself, I've already been told it touches people and has helped. One lady up in Fairbanks came up to me a few years ago and was like, your music helped me through a rough patch in life. It was the first time I ever came close to crying in front of a fan that I didn't even know I had.
Blessings.
But, you know, that's what I want my music to do.
Heal.
Yeah. Or at least help in the healing process.
Who's a collab that you would like to work with in the future?
It may sound like I'm kissing rear end here. Sorry. But you're one of them. Kevin the Brain or Kevin Cortex. Live from the North. I can't drop it down to just one. Alaska Red. Luke Gone is one of them. I just watched like 6 of his music videos earlier.
He's from Alaska?
No. I don't remember where he's from.
I'll have to check him out.
He did a song with Slaughterhouse. I also want to do a song with Lupe, of course, KRS-One. And then to keep that list short, dang.
The possibilities are endless.
Yeah. Stevie the Blessed.
Yeah, I like her too. Okay. Well, you kind of touched on it already. Who are some artists in Alaska that you're digging?
Alaska Red. UTN. Yourself, Truly Bad.
Hey, thank you.
Live from the North. Kevin the Brain. Or Kevin Cortex. I'll just go with both names.
He's from Anchorage?
Yeah, he's from Anchorage.
I'm going to have to peep him out.
He used to be part of Live from the North. When they first came out, there were 3 of them. And Kevin was one of them.
Okay.
Let's see, there's Tony Taylor. AK Rebel. I only bump Mr. O when my kids are not around like he told me to. Let's see. There's Charles Dufresne.
Oh, yeah.
No offense, Sule, but for what I listen to Charles more than you. But Sule Spain. Let's see. Tack Havoc from Fairbanks. That dude is a beast on the mic.
Another one I gotta look up.
He like his wordplay, just insane. There's Half Smoked. Him and we met in 2011.
Oh yeah.
I think could have been 10. Nah, I don't think I met him in 10. But yeah, we go way back.
Oh, that's nice to hear.
We just haven't worked together yet.
That's how it is sometimes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Who else is there? Double Dose,
Yeah,
JB Loud. JB Loud and I also go way back. Like Justin and I have known each other since I think we first met in 2008. I grew up with his parents and some of his younger siblings. And I already used two beats that his dad handed to me years ago that he's already agreed I can, put those songs out. And one of them's already out, actually. It's Soldiers of the US of A.
Oh, that's what's up. Giving thanks to the troops.
Yeah. And that was the first song I ever performed, was Soldiers. Second song I ever recorded.
That's nice.
And when I recorded that song, D was like, "Are you sure you've never recorded before?" Yeah, I'm sure, because that was my first ever studio session. But let's see, who else is there in Alaska that I've been listening to a lot? DJ Allegiance, Matt Angler.
Fairbanks, right? He's from Fairbanks.
No, I don't think so. I know he works with a lot of Fairbanks rappers, but he lives here in Anchorage.
Oh, okay.
Jay Reader. Met him back in 2011 also. We were supposed to have a studio session together, and then something happened I had two kids at the time, and something happened with the younger of the two that I couldn't leave. He got sick, and so I was like, no, I'm sorry, I can't. He's like, I understand, man, that's your kids. Can't mess with that.
That's right.
See, who else about? I know there's D Gutta, Fat Trophy Wife.
Fairbanks.
Oh, excuse me. J.O. Cushman.
Yes, yes.
And Met G.
Yes, yes.
Ben Swan. Like, I think it was the second Rhyme Fest. Ben and I traded CDs. My project won for his the Mastodon.
Oh, that's cool. I like hearing that.
So, like, there's quite a few of the Frozen Founders members that I listen to. DC. I don't even remember who all of them are. I just had them on my Spotify playlist and I play it on shuffle.
Okay. How do you feel about the current Alaska music scene, and how do you think are ways that you can progress it even further?
The Alaska scene as a whole, from my knowledge, because there's a lot of Alaskan rappers that I haven't listened to yet, is I like where it's going. Like even some of the party tracks, they even throw in a few, let's progress lines in there, you know. I know there's more teamwork that could be done, more collaborative tracks, and from the business side, from what I know there's a lot of cats that gotta learn how to properly do the business part, giving writing credits where it's due, production credits where it's due,
publishing,
the publishing part. There's quite a few that I chatted with that, they're like, oh no, I know nothing about that. One of the guys that I've been chatting with about the business part of it a lot lately is oh dang, I have his name in my messenger saved. Exile, he is the concepts he wraps his songs around, amazing. Like, it is so relatable, it's crazy. Especially if you're from the village.
That's another one I'm gonna have to go check out.
Yeah, Exile. I think his full name is Exile Rain. Like, holding the reins.
Mm-hmm.
But I just have him saved as Exile. I went to, let's see, his wife, my wife, and I at the boarding school we met at. Us three were like inseparable. You know, like people thought I was dating both of them. No,
Attached at the hip.
I was just dating my wife, and Crystal's her name. We were best friends. You know, Candace and I never felt that Crystal was a third wheel. We were just like, there were times we hung out with Crystal, times we didn't, times we had to ourselves. And every time we hung out with Crystal, a lot of it, we invited her to go with us.
Right.
So, or it was our big group of friends that we all three had together, you know. But that's how I met Exile. And Exile is pretty dope. He's one I want to work with. We've been talking about working together. We just haven't gotten to that point yet. Because, you know, we both have busy lives. We both married. I don't remember if he has kids or not. We've been talking so much about music and not about personal.
Right. Happens like that sometimes.
Yep.
Day-to-day life. Are you performer prejudice, or do you perform in all genres and are talents, skills, and with other artists?
I'm not performer prejudice. It may seem as I have been, but I just haven't had too many opportunities that I took advantage of to work with people of other genres. My last performance was at the Alaska Independent Musicians Initiative, or AKIMI for short, music summit at the not Denina Center, the Anchorage Museum. And,
that's cool.
I just performed verses. Okay. After this question, or after this answer, I gotta go and get my kids. I performed just 4 separate verses, and it was to a lady playing a single bongo drum. And
I like doing stuff like that.
She doesn't even listen to rap music, but she gets the rhythm of the drums because she's a drummer, you know.
Right.
Turned out we're both from Nome. We didn't even realize that till we were on stage, and I had already done the first verse.
It was that drum.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm this hip hop artist from Nome, and that's how that verse shows it. And she's like, you're from Nome? I'm from Nome. But I do want to work with, let's see. Eventually, I want to get to work with the Tanana Rafters, because the lead singer Jamie and I know each other from we don't remember where. But we officially met each other at the music summit. And she's like, I know you from somewhere. And I'm like, I know you from somewhere too. But where? But there's, let's see. I know I want to work with Wash Your Hand. She is weird. Like she kind of reminds me of a mix of, I don't remember the band's name, but they did a song on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater for Nintendo 64 and PS1.
Oh, yeah.
And who did I tell her it was? Huh? But like, she's got that weird taste in music, and I'm like, I like weird. And then there's a singer at one of the churches out in Palmer. I love his voice. I almost doubt that he'll ever be on a song with me, because he's the music ministry leader or music ministry pastor of that church out there, and that's one that we used to go to, First Baptist Palmer, and I love his voice.
It's the voice of an angel.
Yep. And so But yeah, I haven't had too many opportunities that I've taken advantage of to work with people of other genres.
Well, we will come back here in a minute. Gotta go get the kids.
Yep.
Alaska Beautiful Natives, episode 3 with TaterTott, all for the family. And now we're off to go get the kids.
Yep.